Do you see the sales dashboard right here? Well, it contains everything that I need to know about my sales pipeline, and I didn't have to click anything to receive it in my inbox. I built this entire thing with Claude Code in about 13 minutes. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Matt Paiva and I build AI solutions for a living, and I want you to have your very own version of this. So if you follow along with the steps of this video, by the end of it, you'll have your full sales dashboard ready to go, receiving it tomorrow morning. And down in the description below, I left a link where you can find the templates, skills, and everything that I used to put this together. And the reason why I put this together is because I used to work at a company and I vividly remember spending 20 to 30 minutes every Friday just gathering all the data that I needed to report to my boss. And the thing is, I wasn't the only person gathering that data and pasting into that Google Doc. It was me and the entire team. In fact, 75% of reporting teams spend about 5 to 6 hours just putting reports together. And this is every single week for data that already exists. Now, the good news is that this is one of those things that AI can help us streamline. So in this video, as long as you have a CRM you can connect to, a Claude Code account, and a few minutes to set this up, you will be good to go. But before you get started with Claude Code, you need to ask yourself 4 questions. Well, you're going to put together a dashboard based on your CRM. So first, who is this dashboard for? Is it for yourself? Is it for your leadership team? Or is it for someone else? 2, what decisions do you want to make from this data? Do you want to know who you need to follow up with, or do you want to see broader perspectives of the sales pipeline? 3, when do you need to make this decision by? As soon as you get that notification, or maybe this is a decision that needs to happen a little bit later down the line? And 4, do you have the data that you're trying to see? Is your team currently updating your CRM, and would you be able to have access to up-to-date information from that? Now, the first answer that you're going to give to yourself is going to give you a guideline on who you're going to build this for. It's really important to know your audience before you put something like a data visualization together. And with that person in mind, that could be you or someone else, like I mentioned, you need to start thinking about the decisions that they're going to make, because the decisions that they're going to make are probably data-driven. And now you need to think about what is the data that you need to display for them. If you don't know where to start when it comes to the data that you're going to display for them, I have a template for you. And this template is the daily sales dashboard. And this template includes 5 main categories. The first category is the category of leads that needs your personal touch. Here, I was thinking about a salesperson that would need to have an idea of who they need to follow up with, or maybe a sales manager. The second category is big ticket opportunities. And in this category, we're aiming to outline the deals that are above your average deal value that are still in your deal flow. The third category is new leads this week by source. This is more intended for a marketing purpose, but depending on the audience you're going to deliver this for, it might be useful to include the sources of the leads that are coming in. The fourth section is the active leads by stage. And here we're including just a couple different stages that we have already outlined. And the very last one, we have August so far, which pretty much shows the amount of booked deals, the close rate, and a little bit of information about the overall pipeline for that specific month. Now, not all of these sections might be super applicable for the scenario that you're thinking about. Maybe you're a sales director and you don't need to know where the leads are coming from, just like from the new leads this week or the active leads by stage. So once you get access to this template by going on the link in the description down below, you can always edit it and adapt it using Claude Code. Once you've adapted your sections and you know exactly what you want to display and what you don't want to display, the other question that we're going to outline is the question about frequency that was in the beginning. When you think about the decisions that need to be made from this dashboard, you're going to come up with the data points that you're going to display. Now, when you think about when these decisions need to be made, you're going to think about the frequency that the decision maker needs to see those pieces of data. So maybe this is a sales dashboard that needs to get sent out to a sales manager every single day in the morning. Maybe you adapt this dashboard in a different way where you only need to see it once a week on a Friday morning. Regardless of what your scenario is, it's good to think about this framework to realize how often you want this automation to be running in the background. And the very last question that we asked ourselves about the data being up to date and your team interacting with it is mainly a due diligence question, because you need your data to be up to date and to be relevant enough for you to display it in a given way that you're not going to be displaying incorrect information. And a little bit later in the video, we're going to talk about how you can exactly do that, about how you can make sure that you're always displaying accurate information to the right decision makers. But right now, why don't we talk about how to design your dashboard exactly how you need it to be? Well, you've already determined the data that your decision makers need to see. Now there is a different aspect of it of how you're going to display it in this given dashboard. This template that I created was intended to be an email. So I created an HTML visualization of something that was going to be sent out over email and someone could check on their phones or on their desktop as soon as they got to their job. Now, one thing that I have noticed when it comes to creating these HTML pieces is that there is a little bit of a limitation when it comes to displaying graphs, which is why this active leads by stage here is not displayed in a donut chart, for example. I originally attempted to display this as a donor chart, and I realized that when I was running my automation that sent this out every morning at 8 a.m., it wasn't displaying it correctly. It was looking very weird inside of email. So I decided to do it in a little bit of a list format instead. And this way I can still display the information that needs to be displayed, the total number of leads by stage, without having to compromise a piece of the visualization, which would have been a graphic instead. Now, I haven't had any issues doing this type of visualization where you have almost like a loading piece up to a goal. So feel free to use and abuse these ones. And I also haven't had any problems displaying widgets. So if you want, for example, to include a few big boxes over here displaying big numbers just for your visualization, you shouldn't have a problem just doing that as well. Now, these numbers can be anything. I've set this up before to be the sum of deals closed for a specific month, as well as the new leads coming in for a specific month as well. And I haven't had any issues with it displaying the incorrect information or the visualization not working entirely. Now, once you've decided on the pieces of information you're going to display and you've worked through Claude Code on how you're going to display it, you need to actually connect it to your database. And in this scenario, I created a basic CRM with some dummy data over here inside of Airtable just to give us that visualization that we're looking for. So as we can see, over here, we have a list of 21 leads in our pipeline over here. These, if you are noticing, are all characters from Marvel. And if this was my CRM, I would want to see the data in a specific way. So let's say I am more focused on the people I want to follow up with. And the people I want to follow up with are specifically the people that have this status as responded. So I'll go over here and I'll filter everyone by the status responded. So I can go click on name and change it to status, and then go to status responded. And I can see that there are 3 leads that have responded to me that I haven't replied back to, just based on this dummy data. So I would love to be able to see that in this specific dashboard on this top part over here where it says balls in my court, waiting on you. So when I initially gave Claude Code this template and I asked it to connect to this basic CRM, it did it correctly. It showed me Tony Stark, Wanda Maximoff, and Natasha Romanoff as the leads that I need to follow up with. But then it hit me. These aren't only the leads I want to follow up with, because if I have to re-engage another lead, this would also be something that I want to be able to see. So here, if I filter by responded and re-engage, I can see that T'Challa is also a lead that I would need to follow up with in order to maximize the chances of closing all the deals that I can. But in here, in this first visualization that I got from Claude, I can see that this is not something that Claude include right away. I can see that T'Challa pops up down here under big ticket opportunities, but he doesn't pop up over here in the people that I need to follow up with. And in this scenario, even though T'Challa would pop up twice, we know that this deal is a big ticket opportunity for this fictitious business, so it would be very valuable for us to see his name right at the top over here. So in this instance, when you are connecting your data to Airtable, you need to think about what is the criteria that I want this data to display. So if it is deals that are with the status responded that were created within the last month and something else, you need to very explicitly tell that to Claude. And the way we're putting this together, there is also a skill inside of the templates that you're going to download. So Claude will be prompted to ask you questions and verify this, but only when you actually go in and verify for yourself the template, you will know if the information is getting displayed correctly or not. And the idea of giving Claude information and then double checking the information that Claude is giving back to you is exactly what Anthropic calls the delegation due diligence loop. And as you guys can see, this is actually a good resource that talks about the delegation due diligence loop, which is by Anthropic themselves. And this is something that they recommend and they actually push us to do when we are building AI solutions. Because the key thing is that Claude can give you incorrect information, and if you don't verify it and don't correct it, it will keep giving you incorrect information. So you need to first define the criteria that you want to see in your dashboard and then give it to Claude very explicitly, double check that what Claude is giving back to you is actually correct, and then fully implement it. And one of the ways that you can double check that data is by giving Claude a smaller sample of your full data set. So let's say that you're looking at all of the leads that you're receiving in the month of August for 2026. You can choose a specific week instead where you know exactly what the deal flow value would be for that specific week, and then you ask Claude to display that deal flow value on your dashboard. If the number that you expected matches the number that Claude is displaying, then you're good to go. If it doesn't, then you need to understand what Claude did to see where the gap is and then instruct it on how to fix it. After you go through the delegation due diligence loop, you will have a final product that is actually displaying the correct information that you want to see. Now you need to actually build that automation somewhere, and the software that I'm going to recommend right now is Trigger.dev. I'm not associated with them by any means, but it is a software that I've been slowly switching to because I've noticed at how quickly it can interact with Claude Code. And when I build something inside of Claude Code, I can just host it very simply and very quickly inside of Trigger.dev to get my tasks running in the background. So how does Trigger.dev work? Well, you can connect Trigger.dev to GitHub, and the main way I've been using it actually in my day-to-day is I create a new folder in my computer, I connect it with Claude Code, and inside of that folder, I give Claude Code access to Trigger.dev. So I need to give it access to a couple different API keys that I can find internally, and I also ask it to create the automations that I'm trying to build. So in this scenario, your prompt would look something like, hey Claude, can you please create an automation that sends a sales dashboard email to my email at 8 a.m. every single day? Now, obviously this is a really broad prompt, but you'll already have the template ready to go from the conversation that you had with Claude before. So you just need to export that template into this new folder and use that as the basis of your specific workflow. So if you are using Airtable or HubSpot or Zoho or any other CRM, there are API keys that you can get access to from these softwares and then include them in your env file inside of that folder. So Claude can have access to the variables that are going to be connecting to these softwares. And these variables are mainly going to be your secret API keys that are going to be asking for information from these softwares and pushing information to these softwares. In this scenario, because we're only creating a visualization, it will be just be pulling the information and then structuring it in a specific way. Some other things that Claude Code might ask you to do in order to get this going is to get your project connected to GitHub. So you need to know how to do that. It's super simple. Sometimes Claude can do it by itself. Another thing would be connecting to your email provider. So if you're using Gmail, for example, you need to connect your Gmail to Claude using one of those environment variables. And here, honestly, if you ask Claude on how to do it, it will give you a pretty good step-by-step instruction on how to do it. But because I'm already recording the video, you usually need to go to Google Cloud Console. And inside of Google Cloud Console, you should be able to authorize some of the APIs that you want that specific key that you're connecting to have access to. Or in this scenario, if you're using like an OAuth instead of a key, this is pretty much the same idea. You go to Google Cloud Console, allow some of the APIs, and then connect that to your project. And once you get your test ready to go, just test it within Claude and make sure that you are happy with the results. Then push it to deployment with Trigger.dev. And inside of Trigger.dev, you will have to add those same variables inside of Trigger.dev. And after you set those variables up, you are good to start sending automatic sales dashboards to yourself or any other team member that you want to. Now, if in any step along the way you got a little bit confused on how to set this up, feel free to shoot me an email, which I'll leave down in the description below, or a DM inside of Instagram, and I'll make sure to give you a hand to get this set up. And just to reiterate, you guys will have access to all of the resources and templates that I've shown in this video. You just need to go in the description below and download it using the first link that's going to be popping up over there. Now, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and YouTube thinks that you will like this video that is popping up over here. So if you want to keep learning more about how to use AI properly in your business, feel free to watch this video over here, and I hope to see you on the next one. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.